I do understand how some people might think that vlogging or filming for YouTube every day could have a negative effect on a child's mental health. But the way we do it, in my opinion, I'm no expert, but I know my children, I don't think it would have.
Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is a video not talking about the Doherty Dozen, which I'm sure many of you are probably just like, wow. I mean, a lot of you guys do like my Doherty Dozen videos. However, yeah, it's just because there's been like a snowball effect of things that Alicia has been doing recently and her entourage. They've all been doing different things. That's the reason why I've been talking about it, because it's just, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about the Ingham family, right? The Ingham family. In particular, Sarah says, now basically all of them, pretty much their eldest kids have now started up their YouTube channels again, which I've already talked about before. I just think it's ridiculous. One of their kids doesn't even look like they actually want to be doing any of these things. The other one was being sort of pimped out by doing these like one-on-one video messages using really inappropriate pictures at first, and it then got removed because, you know, Chris and Sarah probably realised that wasn't the best idea and they were getting loads of messages. Anyway, I digress. Then got the Ingham family, the actual channel, and then you then have Sarah Says. Anyway, so all of these different channels have been ignited, and I tell you what, it's probably the reason why they need more money. Like all of us, they need more money. Because Sarah Says has basically been reignited, I didn't really, had no idea this channel even existed.
There's so many bitter, negative, nasty people out there who genuinely want to dedicate their lives to making other people feel bad, and I never knew people like that existed.
They're very like, all of them are sit down and she's just talking about all these different things. Lately it's been about present buying, gift buying, and Q&As. What I have noticed is that not only does she contradict herself in quite a lot of these different things, right? And I'm going to get into some of those things, but she also argues with people in the comment section. I will say that some people can be like outright nasty, and I know that well. A lot of other content creators know this as well. But the thing is that you've just got to rise above it, try and separate constructive criticism from just whatever. And just accept that this is literally part of, I mean, their job. It's part of their job. It's part of being a content creator. You're not going to have love and support. And if you ever start a YouTube channel or start any type of social media venture, you've got to go into that with that mindset. It's like, I have a message, I want people to hear this, but people aren't necessarily going to agree with that. And people on the internet will tell you in quite a direct, sometimes aggressive way that they don't agree with you because they're behind a computer screen. In person, they may not say it like that. That's just the way of the world. That's just the way the social media operates. Anyway, so a lot of these influencers think that they can say and do whatever, voice an opinion, but then that is then it. No one else can have anything else to say, even though they vlog and put their lives out there. So Sarah doesn't quite understand this memo, and I definitely have a bee in my bonnet about the fact that influencers just think that they can just rock up, just do the bare minimum and then disappear and not expect anyone to have any form of like commentary or anything on it. What we're going to do is we're going to read out some of these comments, because she really does go in. She can get extremely self-defensive. For that, I'm going to get into a few things that I found with these two particular types of videos where I'm just like, one comment which basically summarizes what I think, but she didn't respond to, was, wow, these parents are desperately trying to rescue the bank balance by now making videos on here again, I see. Of course, they'll tell us until the cows come home that that is not the case. They know that most folk really aren't that stupid though and see right through them. Maybe in private they know it's their own fault. The main channel has took a nosedive. Never will they admit it on a video though. Yeah, this is exactly it. This is exactly it. It wasn't just the whole Chris Ingham scandal. I mean, that is a massive, great big part to play in it. It's also just the way that both of them interact with just about anyone online. This is just on two separate videos. So one on the Q&A was like, I may have missed, what were GCSE results? And then Sarah says, that would be private, thumbs up. And someone else said, about the only thing that is, only because she's probably done bad, which I'm not going to be talking about a teenager's GCSE results. In this video, she spends a lot of time going on about the fact that Sarah and Chris can offer the kids a better education, homeschooling them, than what they would do if they were a more traditional schooling system. They actually went to a school or done whatever. I'm not coming after homeschooling, but you guys know how I feel about these family vloggers who take their kids out of school and then don't properly, you know, educate them. whatever. So she's basically going on, and this is what she has to say.
Opinions don't matter, but it's when people say things like, it's so sad that you're depriving your children of an education. Because my girls get a better education than they would do if they were at school. I don't care what anyone says. They get a better education at home than they would be getting if they were in school. They learn more with me at home. They are comfortable with me at home. They do more work with me at home. And they take more in and learn more.
Not long after she says that, she then goes, oh yeah, well, Christmas, the whole of December is completely booked out. We've only got 3 days off. Everything else, we're just doing fun Christmas activities. So then a part of my brain goes, yeah, but didn't you just say that you were offering them a better form of da-da-da, but now you're basically writing off the whole of December?
We've got a really exciting December. It's pretty booked up already, isn't it? I think we've only got like
2 or 3 days free.
We've only got like a few days free now in December because I really wanted this December to be cram-packed of happy, fun, festive madness.
Which, by the way, the whole of December is not a Christmas holiday. There's literally about 2 weeks, I think, in a Christmas holiday, if I'm right. And it's towards the back end, okay? You still have to go to school in the first half. Private schools get a little bit more. But well and truly, she goes on and on and on about how, like, yes, like, it's such a better form of education. But then they go away all the bloody time. And it's like, because they film their whole entire day, we can very clearly see that a lot of their day, they're like, oh, we've just woken up and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm just like, at what point is all of this schooling, education? Anyway, so then as soon as someone asks, oh, I may have missed it, what were the GCSE results? Which, by the way, I don't think anyone is entitled to know this about your own kids, even in person, if they don't want to say it. That's completely up to them. But it was the fact that, oh, that'll be private, but nothing else is private. Absolutely nothing else they do is private. She picks and chooses what can be private, and I don't think it should be public knowledge, but it was very interesting. She was getting extremely combative with the fact that, no, we educate our kids, but we also have a whole entire December where we only have 2 to 3 days off. And it's like, which one is it? Because you can't be educating your kids to a proper standard whilst also taking the whole of December off to do Christmas activities. You can't do them both at the same time. On a really similar topic, someone said, I can't see why it would hurt if the kids do public school to grade 7. It would give them a chance to experience normal childhood experiences like stable friends, a learning environment, teacher-pupil relationships, and so many other pros to not homeschooling. Unfortunately, the 2 little ones don't get a choice. What they want to do are reschooling because you, the parents, think you know what's best for them. I followed you for 7 years. I've got quite an interest in what the kids are up to. So she's basically just like voicing her opinion where she thinks that, because none of the younger kids are in nursery either. And this isn't like a homeschooling bashing thread. This is me turning my nose up at family vloggers who decide to do this, whilst also documenting every single thing about those children. I feel like they're basically holding their kids captive to get them on camera all the time. That is just what I think. Nothing against homeschooling. I cannot stress that enough. I've got 2 parents that are teachers, okay? I'm not stressing. I know full well homeschooling can work, but when family vloggers do it, 80% of the time, it doesn't really look like that is what they're doing. So she bit back to this and she said, I love you think you know what's best for them. Well, yeah, as their parents, we do know what's best for them. She was actually going on. The reason why this commenter said anything whatsoever was because she was actually umming and ahhing about whether or not she should send her second youngest into school, into nursery, into any form of like one-on-one interaction with like other kids and all of that, because they basically just keep them all at home all day.
How do you think it would be at nursery? Because we're such a close family and all he's ever known is us all together every day.
He's also a lockdown baby as well, so that's, again,
Yeah.
extended on that.
Yeah, we were all always together for us. It's all he's ever known. I don't know how he'd do with that. We haven't actually made a final decision on whether will or won't go to school. Right now, we're just playing it by ear and seeing how things go. It makes me feel weird, and I don't know how he'd cope with that.
Her excuse was, oh, but they're a lockdown baby and we're not really quite sure if that's what they want to do. But what she's saying is, I'm not really quite sure. So this other commenter was just coming on and just giving her own 2 cents. She wasn't saying, oh, you're a horrible parent for doing this and that. She was just saying, this is the way that it looks like to me as an outsider looking in. She's basically just playing back to the fact that loads of influencers don't want to hear your opinion whatsoever, even though they share their life. That is literally part and parcel. If you're going to be given a ton of money, I'm not saying these guys get a ton, but considering the fact they don't go out 9 to 5 doing ridiculous hours in an office or whatever type of work. They're not going out of the house or even working for, they're family vloggers, okay? If you're being given a crap ton of money, one of the downsides to this is not only you're exploiting your kids, which they don't really care.
But the way we do it, in my opinion, I'm no expert, but I know my children, I don't think it would have a negative effect on their mental health.
Number 2, you are going to have people, like, think of them like your boss. Like, you don't have a boss breathing down your neck, but you might have commenters, you might have people watching you go, and that is just something that you just have to bloody suck up if you're going to be getting money for doing basically nothing.
Heated towards strangers, just anger. And I'm not just talking from personal experience, I'm talking in general. There's so many bitter, negative, nasty people out there who genuinely want to dedicate their lives to making other people feel bad, and I never knew people like that existed.
Sarah does also go on to say in this Q&A that she didn't realise how negative and nasty the place was until obviously they do social media and all of that. But like, I've just shown you 2 different responses. Yeah, I can understand that she gets given a lot of, I mean, I can imagine if you're with Chris Ingham, you're going to be getting a lot of shtick. The content has its own flaws. I've talked about this in the past.
Because lots and lots and lots of you guys said, my teen wants X, which is so expensive, and I just need some other gifts that are going to be useful, but are really budget friendly, not a lot of money at all, and will just make a pile. You know, make the pile bump up a little bit more. They're obviously decent sized boxes usually. And so for those of you that are wanting to make your piles look a little bit more fuller, then they're also a great idea.
There's another video as well where she was basically talking about what to get her kid. There were a lot of people that were basically going off about how she basically buys a load of stuff to make the stockings look bigger.
Decent sized boxes usually. And so for those of you that are wanting to make your piles look a little bit more fuller.
When I was younger, my mum used to literally get little bags of chocolate and sweets and oranges. It was always oranges. I used to literally like, wow, that's a really big stocking, and about a quarter of it would be like satsumas and like little Haribo thingies. Anyway, those are the kind of things that they do, because at the end of the day, what kid doesn't like that? But what she was sort of showing, which is what people were trying to allude to, was the fact that she was basically just filling it with like random crap, basically throwing in little bits just to make it look like you've got more presents, which kind of takes away the whole point of Christmas.
Nice little stocking filler / these won't go in their stockings because they're quite big, but gift just to fill up their piles a little bit.
Like, I feel like nowadays everyone is going to be giving and receiving a lot less, buying like presents. We've always just done it for the kids. So, oh, and we also do Secret Santa every year, and this year we're doing a £5 or below charity shop hustle. So basically go, and whoever you get, you've got to go into a little charity shop and basically try and find something that they would love for below five quid, which actually sounds like a challenge. It sounds like quite a lot of fun because you can get some really interesting looking stuff. You're like, interesting, don't just go in there and pick up some sweets or whatever. No, you've got to try and find something interesting that they might actually quite like. But the way that she was saying is that she just wants to get more stuff to make it appear like they have more, kind of thing. And someone else said the big piles of presents is what gets them views. Of course they will do it, which is exactly what like the Doherty doesn't do and stuff. It's all complete shock value. And Sarah says, did you not watch the vlog, or did you just choose to hear that part where I stated I had requests from other mums for pile fillers? I do understand stuff, but pile fillers makes it look like you're literally just dumping a whole load of useless tat on the floor and just building it by just, I don't know, like, well, have this. You don't really want it, but just have it just to make it look bigger. That's what I'm trying to say. Stocking fillers, I kind of understand, but yeah.
Sorry, this voiceover is going to be absolutely awful, but the reason why I find this whole bit a little bit amusing is because if you just take a little look at her previous Christmas thumbnails with the present gift buying, you'll see that this family don't just gift buy. Oh, no, of course they don't. They gift buy for Christmas, but then they also gift buy for other parts. Anyway, you'll see what I mean. I'll show you the pictures. So the whole thing of her being like pile stocking, pile whatevering, pile filling, it's like, you are the prime candidate for this question.
I didn't say I was looking for pile fillers myself. I clearly stated it was what I have requested. Yes, But why would people be requesting it from you if they didn't think that you did that sort of thing? She does state that she does do it, so I don't really understand. Maybe listen to all of it instead of only the words that fit your narrative. Well, I don't think so, because if people didn't think that you were doing that sort of thing, they wouldn't ask. Like, and we have seen her shop much like Alicia. Oh, well, she can't afford to shop like Alicia does, but we've seen her shop and buy the random tat. Okay, we've seen her. She is exactly the prime candidate to do pile fillers or whatever the hell. I've never ever once heard of the phrase pile fillers. Stocking fillers, I get it, but pile fillers? Pile fillers? Why are you just filling a pile? It's a pile of presents on the floor. Is that literally what like, why are you piling your presents like that? A pile of presents, doesn't matter. You don't need a pile filler. It's already on the whatever. I must be so unbelievably uneducated, because I had never heard of this ever. Wait, I just thought I'd like share with you just some it's a bit of a random video, but I did actually want to discuss this because I've been like really getting into watching some of her. They're long, they're so long, but in amongst her talking there's some little gems of like contradiction along with her arguing with people in the comments, and I love it. I'm all for it. I love a little bit of seriousness along with a little bit of juicy drama. I love it. So that is kind of like the perfect balance. Anyway, have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.